safety and health issue that was preventable. But the Pakistan Accord also increases supports exports. Now, if you look at Bangladesh, the accord was in Bangladesh for over a decade. And during that time, we saw the level of workers' deaths and injuries went down from 738 per annum to 54 per annum. So you see a downward trajectory in accidents, deaths, and injuries in the factories. At the same time, exports nearly doubled. Exports went from 25 billion US dollars to 47 billion US dollars in a decade, while the accord was corresponding with what the accord was in Bangladesh, and 18 billion of that was accord business. So in Pakistan, 135 brands have signed the accord. That represents over 3.5 billion FOB value, so the shipping value. 135 brands. When the accord came to Pakistan, we hoped there would be 80 brands that signed. And we have 135 global brands from Levi's, Gap, Adidas, Marks and Spencer's, Next, Zara, Lidl, Aldi, 135 brands. It's a huge commercial potential. And I think Pakistan has already seen the effects of better compliance with international standards in its GSP Plus program. The majority of EU exports from Pakistan is under the GSP Plus preference, and Pakistan has been the largest beneficiary of GSP Plus. So we've already seen these effects here in Pakistan. So why there's some reason to have hope is that in Europe, the majority of the Pakistan export brands are from Europe. And in Europe, we now have legislation coming in that companies have legally binding obligations to do due diligence, human rights due diligence. And that means, what does it mean? It means that companies have to identify and address their adverse impacts on human rights, but also on the environment. And the international organizations recognize that the accord is a way, it's a collective agreement of brands and unions, it's a way to do due diligence. So brands see the accord as a way for them to meet their legally binding obligations, especially in European context. And the accord does that through its inspections. So inspections are identifying and addressing safety hazards in relation to fire, electrical, boiler, and structure of the building. Also, the training program is about building capacity and preventing these accidents from happening, and the complaints mechanism under human rights